All right, welcome back, cruisers.
We're excited to have you along with us on this awesome excursion.
All right, here we are. We're getting ready to go on the
ATV excursion in Cozumel, Mexico, through the jungle and then a beach break.
See what it's like. All right, once we got our helmets and our instructions, we headed out to the ATV shed and hopped on our ATVs.
Yeah, and here on my left is Jim. I met Jim on the Wonder of the Seas. He was our next door balcony neighbor. While we were on the Symphony of the Seas on the second day, we were out on the boardwalk and ran into him. So it was pretty exciting, and then wound up being on the same excursion in Cozumel.
Okay, and as soon as we got rolling, the first thing we did is stop.
Yep, and we stopped because each group got to get together and pose for a photo.
This was kind of cool. They took our photo right at the beginning so they could have it printed out for us at the end of the tour. Photos were, I think, $20.
Yeah, actually it was $13, and then if you wanted the frame with it, it was $20.
Yeah, and also the photo came with this other print that had some information about the ranch that we were on and the tour that we took.
Yeah, it was a great deal, actually.
So once the tour gets going, the tour guides will constantly be asking you if you're good with your position and if you're happy with your speed. We asked if we could go a little bit faster, so we got brought up to the front of the group and actually got to go a little bit faster. It was kind of nice.
Yeah, I think everybody was a little confused. Oh, there's Jim. Everybody's a little confused as to why we were moving up, but it was just because we asked if we could go faster. And it was really cool. They just switched everybody's positions around.
Yeah, they changed the positions around throughout the tour, So this section is actually a little fast, and the trees were really close. And
Yeah, it figures the section that we got to go fast. I mean, it was kind of scary, but it was also super fun.
Yeah, you can see there's bandanas on some of the trees, trying to mark them because they want to make sure you didn't hit your bike into them or your head.
Also, this is important for women especially, I would say, because it's easier, I would suggest leggings because the ATVs do get really hot. And a lot of the women with the shorter shorts were complaining that their legs were getting burned. If you're, a man and you have longer shorts, you'd probably be okay. But I might even, what do you think? Well,
It did get hot, but I was fine.
You were okay?
Yep.
Yeah, either that or some lightweight pants.
This part of the tour was really more, I think, dusty than
Yeah,
than
thankfully
wet.
it wasn't muddy at all. Very beginning.
Here you can see the large stone structure and windmill on the right side and the hut on the other side. This was, I guess, the first stop we made.
Right.
And they actually handed out water to everybody. It was really nice. And there was a time here where they gave a little bit of a backstory on the island and the area that we were actually in, which was really cool. I turned around and noticed this huge iguana sitting on a tree stump.
Yeah, it's so cool how he camouflages himself to look just like the branch.
Yep. But then after a couple minutes, we were back on the trail. A lot of the trails, I would say we probably went over all the trails at least twice. Like we went one way through it and then came back through the other way.
And if you're not observant like myself, you wouldn't even know the difference because I didn't even realize it. So, yeah, I didn't realize that we went over any trails more than once.
Yeah, there were some sections that were really rocky and really rough, and then other ones that were almost paved areas.
Yeah, it was nice, actually. It was a nice mix.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it, like we mentioned earlier, as far as your pacing goes, if you wanted to go a little bit slower and check out the scenery, there was definitely areas for you in the back of the group, and towards the front of the group, it was, more full throttle, trying to go around the corners tight and going over all the rocks and stuff.
Right. Also, if you have belongings, they do have lockers, but we didn't feel comfortable leaving our stuff, and I have a dry bag, so we just kept the dry bag with us, and it was fine. Right, and they do give you a new bandana to put on, so you have a bandana covering your head for when you put
along with the helmet.
Right, and then you put the helmet on. So you do get a little bit hot, a little sweaty, but it is nice because you do have the bandana protecting you from the helmet.
Okay, here you can see we're using the hand signals. So when you go to stop, you put your hand signals up, and that way it passes back to everybody in the group so everybody knows to slow down so nobody crashes into each other.
Right. They do say to make sure that you bring some insect repellent for mosquitoes and things like that. I actually forgot, but I didn't have any issues with mosquitoes or insects or anything like that. I don't think you did either.
Yeah, there was no bugs out there that I noticed. I could see maybe if it was a rainier season maybe.
That's true. Although they did say that when we first got there that it had rained and there might be some mud along the trails and so forth, but there really wasn't any, and that would normally make more mosquitoes, I would think. But
At least that's the way it is in Florida.
yeah, I do recommend, however, making sure that you put sunscreen on, because you are out pretty much in the direct sunlight. I mean, you're in the jungle, but you're still exposed through the entire thing. So I would definitely make sure you put that on at the very least.
See, here's the end of the tour. We're actually rolling back into the ATV shed. It's kind of nice as we roll them back into position just like they were when we got there.
Right. And also, I would make sure that you bring some cash along, because the tour guides are absolutely amazing. So just bring some small cash. They would appreciate that, I'm sure.
Yeah, they had a whole tipping thing set up.
But the bus driver is not included in the tipping. So maybe bring a couple extra bucks so when you get off, you have something to give him as well.
Here we hop off the ATV and hop onto the bus and head towards the beach.
Yeah, and the bus was actually really nice. It was air conditioned. It was super cold in there, and they even had curtains you can draw back if you wanted a little darker to relax after your ATV excursion. But it was only about a 10-minute ride to the beach.
Yeah, it didn't take long at all. So the bus arrived at the Aquarium Bar, Grill, and
Right.
Resort.
Yep.
Here you can see there's a restaurant area set up. They serve food. We actually had nachos and steak.
Yeah, steak nachos.
Yep, that was amazing. You can see there's plenty of seating, lots of umbrellas. There was also shacks set up. They were selling souvenirs.
Yep.
They had they offered guided snorkeling excursions from the beach, jet ski rentals,
Kayaks.
and kayaks.
The
also.
jet skis they said were $75.
Yep, which
That's
is
pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
good.
And this location actually isn't that far from the cruise port. I think it's less than 10 miles away. Here you can actually see the cruise port off in the distance.
Yeah.
All right, I think that covers this tour. We did want to say one more thing. Pedro was an amazing tour guide.
Yeah.
He really made this a lot of fun. He was there with us throughout. It was a really good time. All right, thanks a lot, guys, for watching. We'll see you later.
All right. See ya.